So now let me have another interaction with my friends, and in my mind, what's roaming around is that I would like to talk about the 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 dreams that animals see. Could we manage some way that quantum mechanics has to do with what we call as, I may call it as, the quantum biology behind my cat's dream. I will take an animal like cat, and how can I demonstrate this thing with you? So, ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something simple, something many of us every day. What we have a sleeping animal, and connect it to something incredibly deep, quantum realm, quantum mechanics, the quantum postulates. So let me introduce you with my friend cat. I have a cat, and my cat spends a good part of day sleeping, and during that sleep, I often notice twitching whiskers, rapid eye movements, and soft sounds. These small signs tell us something remarkable. There is a message in all these actions. What they say is animals dream, and their dreams might have quantum mechanical roots. Now, this is not science fiction. This is a real emerging science in the field of quantum biology, neuroscience, and animal cognition. I'm not an expert of these fields, but I somehow try to manage to connect my quantum realm. So let me share the story how I discovered this connection of quantum mechanics with the animals, especially in my case. I have a cat. A simple observation about the cat that I see day to day around. So one evening, as my cat uh, slept in a room, I noticed quick and sharp bursts of movements, the kind seen in very deep sleep, the stage known for vivid dreaming. But something interesting happened. I mean, the movements were irregular, spontaneous, and looked as if they were triggered. They were triggered events inside the brain that did not follow a smooth pattern. So this led me to scientific question. And what's that scientific question? The point is that could this unpredictable, non-linear nature of animal dreams be it influenced by quantum processes in the brain of the animal? So this is what led to my mind, and and probably what scientists now believe, if we talk about the general knowledge of the science that we have, is that modern research shows that certain biological processes may rely on quantum mechanics as a basic modeling tool to explain, say, for example, electrons jump in a molecule. So what we have constant jumping motion of electrons, and what protons are doing in DNA is they are tunneling in the DNA from one point to another point, and magnetoceptions that are happening in birds, or photosynthesis efficacy, and possibly the decision paths in the neurons. Now, if these processes occur in human, why not in animals? Like the cat that I'm talking about, because my basic tool is quantum mechanical here. So I'm trying to share this kind of material. Dreaming may be a stage where the quantum influences, they become most visible. They become most visible apart from what we say at atomic and molecular levels. So quantum principle one is what? Superposition in the brain. So what's going on? So dreams, especially in animals, they often jump between unrelated events. I mean, what am I trying to tell you is a cat may dream of turning, then suddenly resting, then hunting, then floating with no smooth transitions. So what's going on? The many things are going on at the same time. So what's happening here? This is something that resembles the very superposition principle. So a quantum system holds multiple states at the same time before one becomes real. So during dreaming, the brain is not constrained by the logics that we have in the daytime, where we can think that the actions that we are taking on, they are logical in sense, like zeros and ones. Neurons fire in parallel patterns. Multiple possible memory combinations activate together during the dreams. So my cat's flickering not only represents one clear memory, but a combination of the possible memories existing in the brain of the cat. So this is what I could predict about the cat. Now, talking about the second important quantum principle is the tunneling in the neural activity. So what happens at times, what we see is the cat is jumping. I mean, the certain jump in an animal dreams here. Some of the strongest clues, jumping while sleeping. So one moment, my cat looks peaceful. The next moment, its paws move rapidly. If chasing something like prey, chasing a rat. So these sudden shifts here, not like typical brain transitions, they resemble quantum mechanical tunneling. A particle moves through a barrier. You have a barrier which cannot be crossed by the classical means of understanding. So barrier without the classical steps in between that we have, but there is a probability that the particle may cross. Now in the dreaming brain, what we have neural signals. They can jump from one memory cluster to another without gradual transitions. So what in addition to that? There are electrical potentials, and these electrical potentials shift rapidly. They shift rapidly in our brains. So if we see the new images that appear without a warning, this is why a cat's dream can shift instantly from hunting a mouse to lying in sunlight without any narrative bridge. And there are certain transitions, there are certain actions, that these actions can be seen among these cats. Now the third important point is that we have in quantum principle, what is that? That's the collapse. Collapse and wakefulness. So what happens when the cat when my cat wakes up, the twitching stops, the eyes settle, the dream ends. But what is interesting is this. Animals seem to remember very little of their dreams. This resembles the wave function collapse. So the dreaming was carrying a lot of information, but once the animal wakes, it seems to have the collapse. Out of hundreds of dreams, possibilities during the sleep, the walking brain chooses very few to store. If any at all. So for animals, the collapse is even more rapid because their waking consciousness is simpler and more instinctive. This is why the cat I was talking about, it wakes up alert, present, with no visible traces of complex neural activities that was happening just seconds before when the cat was dreaming. So, to reveal a scientific truth about animal dreams. So, this is how I can introspect that how we can manage even at macroscopic levels the behavior of animals. There seems to have a lot of quantum mechanics